Excessive. The word is defined as exceeding what is usual, proper, necessary, or normal. When we think of excessive in terms of the Ford Mustang, one must consider the 1994 Boss 604. This car was an exercise in insanity for sure, and maybe that's why we love it. What started out as a pre-production 1994 SN95 Mustang became a weapon against whatever crazy performance projects GM dared to throw at Ford. It was the brainchild of John Coletti, the head of Ford's special vehicle team. Visually, the car looked the part with a bright red paint job rumored to be slightly different from the vibrant red Rio Red used in those years. The front end had the familiar Cobra nose, although the stock hood was swapped out for a slightly higher raised center cowl hood, no doubt to clear the power plant, but more on that later. It wore the cool retro Larry Shinoda designed black boss stripes on the center of the hood and running down the front fenders and doors. The sides of the car incorporated the Ford Racing side exhaust kit with unique lower body cladding complete with SVE callouts. The rear view of the car was different from production Cobras in that it used a stock GT V6 trunk with the brake light in it, as Cobras had their brake lights in the special Cobra-only rear spoiler. The Boss, on the other hand, used what appears to be a stock GT V6 wing, although it was painted black, giving it that 69-70 look. Now, what good is a Boss without power? Well, this car came through in a big way. Coletti went to Ford legend Jack Roush to build a true beast. Roush started with a real Boss 429 block from the Wood Brothers NASCAR team, punched out to 604 cubic inches. That's 10 liters, folks. Up top was a custom-made one-off intake manifold that proudly screamed the word Boss. It was fuel-injected using a pair of 70mm throttle bodies. The heads were the same kind of units that Ford had campaigned in the NASCAR days of the 60s and 70s. This engine used a Ford Motorsports forged steel crank, Carrillo rods, and Wiseco forged pistons with a compression ratio of 10.5 to 1. Horsepower numbers were claimed to be just over 850 with 794 pound-feet of torque. Backing up that kind of power was more old school. A Ford C6 automatic transmission with a 2800 stall converter, and sent it all screaming to a 9-inch rear end with 35 spline axles and a Detroit locker spinning 370 to 1 gears. Wheels were stock 17x8 Cobra pieces up front with 275 45s, and in the rear there were widened 10.5-inch stockers wearing 315 35 BF Goodrich drag radials. This Boss was made for dragging and had a 0 to 60 time in 1.9 seconds. The interior of the Boss was pretty much standard Cobra, with a full black leather interior. The other things that differed from the showroom model was a stock Mustang automatic shifter sticking out of the center console, along with a trio of gauges mounted in the center vent. Brakes were upgraded to 4-piston Brembos up front with 13-inch rotors. ABS Hydro Boost brakes remained, no doubt to make room for the 10 liters wide footprint, which allegedly fit into the SN95 with minimal mods. The front suspension was a mostly stock McPherson strut setup with a slightly larger 31mm sway bar. The rear suspension would no doubt be struggling with traction, so it used a torque arm from Griggs Racing, along with their heavy-duty rear lower control arms. To locate the rear axle, SVE installed a modified Watts Link system using control arms tied to a center pivot point. In one of the coolest face-offs in the Ford vs. Chevy game, Coletti's Boss went up against the 1993 Camaro of John Moss, head of GM's Special Vehicle Group. Moss's Camaro ZL1 was powered by a 13.85 to 1 572 cubic inch V8, producing over 770 horsepower and 683 pound-feet of torque, backed by a G-Force 5-speed manual transmission. This thing was serious. At a dragstrip showdown hosted by Car and Driver at Milan Dragway, both cars suffered some issues, but the Boss bested the ZL1 in the quarter mile by almost half a second and 6 miles an hour faster, on the way to a quarter-mile ET of 10:55 at 135 miles an hour. The Boss was never meant for production. It was meant to take bragging rights from GM, and it did just that. Yes, it was excessive in nearly every sense of the word. and for its contribution to Ford performance, it has the honor of being in the collection of the legendary Jack Roush himself, ready to be admired by any onlooker. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, or better yet, make sure you subscribe to get all the latest content here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.